Another successful day riding my bicicleta into DC. Guys, today we're gonna talk about money. Everyone's favorite topic. People love to get it, they want more of it, and when they have it, they spend it on stupid, ugly, hype Yeezys, am I right? But we're also gonna talk about growth and risk because I think they go along perfectly with those dollar bills, y'all. But first, I gotta get a haircut, dude. And voila, look at that sick haircut. You get it? Voila, it's because that's where I get my haircut. Hey, filming a video here. Whenever I see a biker, it reminds me of that South Park episode. Hey, everyone's staring at us. All right, before we get into the topic of this video, why is it so loud? I'm gonna change cameras to the better one, hold on. All right, so our first topic is gonna be doll hairs, and I think it's important to talk about my past with money and growing up because I think a lot of people who come to my channel who don't know me are probably like, this guy comes from money, he's got his parents' money, oh my gosh, what a spoiled little brat, he drives a nice car, got a super nice apartment, has nice camera equipment, he didn't work for any of this, and that's far from the truth. So I grew up in Roanoke, Virginia. It was my brother, my dad, my stepmom, and myself, and we all lived with our grandparents for the first majority of my life. So my dad lived with his parents because he was in the military and we couldn't afford a house of our own at the time. So there's a lot of us in one house, and when my dad could finally afford a home, we got one built about 50 yards from my grandparents' house. It was a double wide, so it came on two pieces on a trailer and was put together, and it was literally just laid down in the yard, down the grass from my grandma's house. And my dad worked his ass off. He worked so many different jobs, I can't even remember all of them. One that I do remember, he worked for Aramark, which was a uniform delivery company. So he drove around a delivery truck late at night and delivered dry cleaning to different companies. And he worked so hard to give our family everything that he could. And I'll never forget when I turned 10 years old on September 9th of 1999, the Sega Dreamcast came out, and I wanted nothing more for my birthday than the Sega Dreamcast. And I asked my dad for it, and it was about $200 to $300. And I remember he said, you know, I can't afford that. I can't afford that. And I was really bummed. And then I woke up on my birthday, and the Sega Dreamcast was waiting for me. And I remember, it's like it didn't impact me then because I was a child, and I'll never forget it now of how ungrateful I was because he didn't get me the right game because I wanted Sonic Adventures and he got me some airboarding game. But I remember just being ungrateful, and it's like I feel so bad now because he tried his best to give us the life that he could with the cards that he was dealt, with the jobs that he could get. So enough of that. That's why I didn't grow up with rich parents or anything like that. And then flash forward, in high school, I started working at 15 years old. I worked the same job from 15 to 22 at a pharmacy. I made between $7 an hour, or $6.50 an hour, all the way up to $9.80 an hour. Then I got an internship making $10 an hour, and then I got my first job out of college making six figures. No, I had an entry-level job as a technical recruiter making about $35,000 a year starting. So that is my history with money. No, I'm not a trust fund baby. No, my parents didn't make a ton of money and have some legacy to hand over to me. I worked ever since I was 15 years old until I started social media, but we'll talk about that when I get some lunch, because I want some sushi. So we're gonna get 2 spicy crunchy tuna because that's the best one, and we're gonna get a Hawaiian roll, spicy salmon toro, don't know what that is, pineapple, and cucumber. Boom, there we go. Guys, I've been wanting to travel to like Japan, specifically Tokyo, and I made some thing. I was like, oh, I can get some very authentic sushi there, and everyone's like, Max, they don't have spicy tuna in Tokyo. Is that true? Because I'll be very disappointed. Max, there's better sushi out there. No, there's not. No, there's not. Next, we're gonna talk about growth, because right when I graduated college and got my first job was when I started the thing that grew me into what I am doing today. I met Mr. Nick Wright in WB bodybuilding because he moved to my town, and that changed my life forever. That is when I started picking up the camera, started putting myself out on social media, and it literally changed my life. And I owe my entire social media career starting to that man, that fluff master himself, Nick Wright. And I did that for over 3 years. And if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will, because do you know how many times I got made fun of for picking up this camera? Do you know how many times I got told by my friends that what I was doing was stupid, what I was doing was dumb? Hey Max, why don't you stop flexing on the camera? Hey Max, why don't you stop like filming yourself doing bicep curls? And if I did not believe in what I was doing and knew that it could grow into something bigger than, you know, just walking around with a camera, then I would have quit a long time ago. And after 3.5 years of balancing my social media, putting up 4 videos a week for 3.5 years, my full-time job, and not making little to no money from this YouTube and social media thing, I decided to take the leap in July of 2016 and quit my job as a full-time technical recruiter and go on an adventure with life to try the social media thing full-time. And with the growth of starting on my own, having an adventure in life where I was, you know, not on the beaten path and working for myself, that is when Everford Apparel, my clothing brand, started absolutely exploding. We started this company back in 2015, right at the beginning, technically the very end of 2014, but we'll say 2015. And when I started it, I had people telling me, Max, your logo is ugly. Max, your logo is stupid. Max, the message Everford, that's like a dumb phrase. That's not an apparel brand, Max. You won't be successful with that logo, with that brand, Max. And with the power of all of you guys, with the support of you, and everything that, you know, just fell into line, we turned Everford Apparel on its first year into a 6-figure business in revenue. Then the second year in 2016, I'm not gonna lie, it took kind of a back seat for me. It wasn't a main priority. I didn't know the direction that I wanted to take with the brand, and it still did amazing because of y'all's support. We almost identically matched the revenue in year 2 compared to year 1. And then last year, when I decided to go full force into the brand, to go full force into putting my heart and soul into the pieces of apparel that I loved and started making things that were more closer to what I like to wear, the casual stuff. And I had people tell me, Max, stick with fitness stuff. Max, you can't put a casual apparel out, Max, just stick with fitness. What, you're making compression gear? That's stupid, man. Well, let me tell you guys, in year 3, last year in 2017, we tripled the revenue of the first 2 years. And this year, when I'm taking the biggest leap into the casual wear, the biggest leap into really forming this brand into something that truly represents, you know, my style and what I love, and just so much work is going into this, we are on track to make this a 7-figure business in revenue by the end of this year. And I had people telling me day one, that this apparel line would never be successful. Believe in yourself, believe in what you are creating, and believe that you can grow, and I promise you can do it. All right, so before we get into the final point of this video, I want to show you guys some squat progression. Last week we worked with 365 pounds for 3 sets of 5. Now we're working with 385 pounds this week for 5 sets of 3. One thing I'm really focusing on is breaking at the hip, still focusing on sitting back and not like breaking at the knees first, hitting that depth, staying a little bit more upright, not rolling the bar. When I travel, my squats go to shit! Let's try it. We got our boy Tory Lanez on the track. Fun fact, actually, one of our friends, Fatima, says she went to elementary school with him and he like tripped her on the bus. She said his real name too, but I forgot it. But apparently he's a big jerk. Squat is something that definitely takes a hit when I travel. It's already a hard point for me, so it's nice when I'm home. It's gonna get back on track, and even when I go to Texas, we're gonna try. We're still aiming for that 500. I'm definitely far away from it right now. We're gonna get there one day. Set 4. Squats are not my friend these days, especially the skinnier that I get. But you just gotta believe. Believe in the skinny legs. No, not skinny legs. Small knees. That's what we said. not gonna lie, even when my squat was at its all-time high, which was 485, it's always been an awkward movement for me. I'd really love to go train with someone, I don't even know off the top of my head, but like someone who's very talented at the technique and the mechanics of a squat, because I need a lot of help. As far as leg accessories go, obviously we're not gonna gain any size, so we just want to try to move as much weight as possible to help out with a lot of other lifts. My favorite leg exercise would be any sort of hamstring focused movement. So I really like to isolate them with the hamstring curl. I like to go very heavy on them for about 10 to 12 reps, about 4 to 5 sets, because your hamstrings are gonna have a huge play in your deadlift, especially if you're doing the sumo. Build up big ham dog not big, strong ham dog millionaires. You get a sick deadlift, but you also stay skinny like me. All right, so we're back from the gym, and I know this video is a lot different of a tone than my normal content, but I wanted to kind of connect with you and have a more serious overall topic and discussion, and kind of let you more into my background, into my family, how I grew up, how I got to the point that I am at now, and to show you that I am just like a lot of you out there who just want something and are maybe too afraid to go after it because of the risks of failing. And I'm just like a lot of you guys. I did not grow up a spoiled rich kid. I did not grow up with everything just handed to me. I had to work. And there's definitely a lot of factors that helped me get to the point that I'm at now, whether it be being in the right place at the right moment, networking with the right people, just, luck, stupid luck. But no matter what, you can't deny that I have put in work. I have put in effort, and I've taken risks and that I believed in, and I have succeeded in those risks because I knew that I couldn't fail. And when you truly have a passion for something, you can't fail. Maybe you'll fail in the short term, but in the long run, I promise you will succeed, because success is the only option. When people told me that making a YouTube channel was stupid and I made fun of, I continued. When I got fired from my job because of social media, I continued. When I was contemplating staying with my job and and balancing everything, or taking that risk and jumping into this full time, I did it because I believed in myself. And when I talk about getting to the point that I'm at, I think a lot of people think that I am just talking about success in a form of monetary gain, and that is not true, because if you only chase money, I promise you will never be truly satisfied, because you will never have enough. And what I feel is successful to me is being at a point in my life that I am free to do the things that I want with the people that I care about, and to be able to help those around me. Guys, I promise you, doing things like when I was able to help my sister and her son out when they were in need with a reliable form of transportation, the way that made me feel, seeing how happy she was, will always trump buying a goddamn supercar. I promise you. Believe in yourself, live that ever forward mindset, and you will never fail. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe some people make fun of it, maybe people will call it cringe, but I hope a lot of you, maybe even one of you, took the message away from my story. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and ever forward.